Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start the meeting, I'd like to say a few words. I'll start with French. Un message du conseil municipal aux citoyens de Kirkland. Le 5 avril dernier, notre environnement naturel a été mis à rude épreuve et a subi d'importants dommages lors de la tempête du Loch qui s'est abattue sur notre territoire et ailleurs dans la province de Québec. Jamais n'avons-nous été si fiers de cette municipalité, de ses remarquables citoyens, bénévoles, corporations et employés qui n'ont ménagé aucun effort pour prouver à nouveau et sans l'ombre d'un doute que la ville de Kirkland peut se relever des pires épreuves puisqu'elle tire sa force de vous tous. Sans la moindre hésitation, vous avez généreusement donné temps, énergie pour aider les autres, en dépit du fait que vous viviez vous-même des moments difficiles. Et j'aimerais remercier le conseil municipal ici, qui a participé à 100%, un excellent travail. Et vous avez ouvert votre porte et votre cœur à vos amis et voisins qui avaient besoin de réconfort. Au bout du compte, ce dont nous rappellerons toujours avec grande fierté, votre attitude positive durant toute cette épreuve, votre détermination et votre bonté de cœur. Nos plus sincères remerciements et toute notre admiration à vous tous qui avez contribué à rendre beaucoup plus facile pour tous une tâche qui, au départ, nous semblait impossible. A message to Kirkland citizens from the Town Council. On April 5th, our natural environment was severely tested and suffered significant damage as a result of the ice storm that hit our territory and other areas of the province of Quebec. Never have we been prouder of this municipality and of its remarkable citizens, volunteers, corporations, and employees and elected officials who spared no effort to once again prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that Kirkland can rise to the occasion as it derives its strength from all of you. Without a moment of hesitation, you openly gave your time and energy to assist others, even at a time when your own personal situation was quite difficult. And you opened your home and your hearts to your friends and neighbors in need. At the end of it all, what will always be remembered with great pride is your positive attitude throughout this ordeal, your determination and your kindness of heart. Our most grateful appreciation and admiration to all of you who contributed to render a seemingly impossible task a lot more bearable for all of us. Thank you very much. Okay, bien sûr, Annie.
Alors, bienvenue à cette séance du 1er mai 2023. Il est proposé d'adopter l'ordre du jour de la présente séance du 1er mai tel que déposé.
Proposeur.
Je le propose de Mexito.
Et secondé par.
Secondé Paul Fort.
Merci.
Item 3.2, it is proposed that the minutes of the regular sitting held on April 3rd, 2023 at 8 p.m. be approved.
Proposed.
Je le propose, Karen Cliff.
And second.
I'll second that, Steve Bouchard.
Thank you.
Au point 4, compte payable, il est proposé de confirmer et d'approuver le paiement d'un montant total de 2 217 483,73 $ pour l'ensemble des chèques émis et annulés, les dépôts directs et les paiements préautorisés pour la période du 1er au 30 avril 2023.
Un proposeur.
Je le propose, Nancy Coppola-Ceres.
Et secondé par.
And I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Thank you.
Item 5, bylaw. The first one is 5.1. Bylaw amending bylaw number 2011-52, ordering the establishment of an environmental restoration program to rectify cross-sewer connections affecting certain residential immovables and of a financial assistance program to carry out immediate work is presented for adoption. It's the 2011-52-4. Considering that a notice of motion was given, that a draft of this bylaw was filed on April 3rd, and that it was made available to the public on the town's website, it is proposed to adopt this bylaw as tabled. This bylaw will come into force on May 5th, date of publication of the public notice on the town's website and billboards.
Proposed
I'll propose it to Chairman Pichak.
and second by
And I'll second that, John Morrison.
Le point 5.2, le règlement 2013-55-2, intitulé Règlement modifiant le règlement numéro 2013-55 sur la circulation et le stationnement afin d'ajouter une interdiction pour les équipements et véhicules lourds et présenté pour adoption. Considérant qu'un avis de motion a été donné, qu'un projet de ce règlement a été déposé le 3 avril 2023 et qu'il a été mis à la disposition du public sur le site Internet de la Ville, il est proposé d'adopter ce règlement tel que déposé. Ce règlement entrera en vigueur le 5 mai, date de publication d'un avis public à cet effet sur le site Internet et les panneaux d'affichage de la Ville.
un proposeur
Je vais le proposer, Steve Bouchard.
et secondé par.
I'll second it, Dominic Zito.
Merci.
5.3, bylaw amending bylaw Gen 2019-54. So it's a bylaw concerning the supplementary pension plan for the employees of the town of Kirkland. Is presented for adoption. Considering that notice of motion was given, that a draft of this bylaw was filed on April 3rd, and that it was made available to the public on the town's website, it is proposed to adopt this bylaw as tabled. This bylaw will come into force on May 5th, date of publication of a public notice on the town's website and billboards.
Proposed by.
I'll propose that Nancy
And
Kokonasidis.
second.
I will second it, Paul DeFord.
Le point 5.4, considérant que le projet de règlement de zonage numéro 90-58-106, intitulé Règlement modifiant le règlement de zonage numéro 90-58 afin de tenir compte des expropriations du REM, a été adopté le 3 avril 2023, qu'il ne fait l'objet d'aucune représentation de la part des personnes intéressées à l'Assemblée publique de consultation tenue le 18 avril à 17h30. Considérant que les copies de ce deuxième projet de règlement ont été mises à la disposition du public sur le site Internet de la Ville, il est proposé d'adopter le deuxième projet de règlement de zonage numéro 90-58-106. Ce deuxième projet de règlement contient des dispositions propres à un règlement susceptible d'approbation référendaire. Un avis public énonçant les exigences relatives à la demande de référendum sera affiché sur le site Internet de la Ville le 5 mai et l'adoption du règlement est prévue à la séance ordinaire du 5 juin.
Un proposeur
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
et secondé par.
Je le second, Karen Cliff.
Item 5.5 is it's the adoption of a second draft resolution for the SCOP demand for the immovable located at 16781 Trans-Canada Highway. Considering that the first draft resolution of the SCOP demand for this immovable was adopted at the regular sitting held on April 3rd, and that it was not the subject of any representation by the interested persons during the public consultation held on April 18 at 5:45. Considering that copies of the second draft resolution was made available to the public on the town's website, it is proposed to adopt the second draft resolution of the SCOP demand for the immovable located at 16781 Trans-Canada Highway. This second draft resolution contains provisions specific to a bylaw subject to referendum approval. There will be a public notice setting out the requirements for requesting a referendum that will be posted on the town's website on May 5th. And the adoption of the final resolution is scheduled for June 5th, 2023.
Somebody to propose it?
I propose that, John Morrison.
And second?
I'll second it, Luciano Picciacchia.
Nous sommes maintenant au point 6, sous la section contrat. Le premier, 6.1, il s'agit de l'octroi du contrat GMI 2023-03, marquage de la chaussée avec 4 options de renouvellement. Suivant cet appel d'offres public, 3 soumissions ont été reçues à l'intérieur du délai imparti. Les soumissions ont été ouvertes publiquement le 14 avril et à la suite d'un examen des documents reçus, la plupart des soumissions ont été déclarées non conformes et les 2 autres soumissions ont été jugées conformes aux documents d'appel d'offres. Il est proposé d'octroyer le contrat GMI 2023-03 à les signalisations RCI, le plus bas soumissionnaire conforme pour un montant total de 187 758,66 $, toutes taxes applicables incluses.
Proposé par?
Je propose Dominique Zito.
Et secondé?
Je second it, John Morrison.
Merci.
Item 6.2 is the awarding of contract GMI 2023-10-11 roof repair sports complex. Following this public call for tenders, 9 bids were received within the allotted timeframe. The bids were opened publicly on April 28, 2023, and following a review of the documents received, the lowest bid was deemed compliant with the tender specifications. It is proposed to award contract GMI 2023-10-11 to Toiture Léon Inc., the lowest confirming bidder for a total amount of $1,110,543.53, all applicable taxes included.
Propose?
I'll propose that Paul Dufault.
And second?
I'll second it, Luciano Picciacchia.
Point 6.3, il s'agit de l'octroi du contrat GMI 2023-410, travaux de mise en place d'une clôture ornementale au pourtour du bassin de rétention du boulevard Saint-Charles. Suivant cet appel d'offres public, 3 soumissions ont été reçues à l'intérieur du délai imparti. Les soumissions ont été ouvertes publiquement le 24 avril et à la suite d'un examen des documents reçus, la plupart des soumissions ont été déclarées non conformes et les 2 autres soumissions ont été jugées conformes aux documents d'appel d'offres. Il est proposé d'octroyer le contrat GMI 2023-410 à G d'Avio Limité, le plus bas soumissionnaire conforme, pour un montant total de 191 775,43 $, toutes taxes applicables incluses.
Un proposeur?
Je le propose, Pierre Pitt.
Et secondé par?
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Thank you.
6.4 is the awarding of contract GMI 2023-965. Following this public call for tenders, 4 bids were received within the allotted timeframe. The bids were opened publicly on April 17th. And following a review of the documents received, they were deemed compliant with the tender specifications. It is proposed to award contract GMI 2023-965 to Excavation Gricon, which is also known as the company 3286916 Canada Inc., the lowest confirming bidder for a total amount of $1,048,423.99, all applicable taxes included.
You have a proposer?
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
And second?
I'll second that, Nancy Koukimasidis.
Thank you.
I forgot to say that was for the oversizing of the sanitary sewer line. Le point 6.5, il s'agit de l'octroi du contrat REC 2023-01, fourniture et installation de structures récréatives au parc Écoston. Suivant cet appel d'offres public, 2 soumissions ont été reçues à l'intérieur du délai imparti. Les soumissions ont été ouvertes publiquement le 24 mars. Un comité de sélection a eu lieu le 27 avril. Et selon les critères énoncés dans les documents d'appel d'offres, les 2 soumissions conformes ont fait l'objet d'un calcul de pointage final. Il est proposé d'octroyer le contrat REC 2023-01 à Tessier Récréoparc Inc., le soumissionnaire conforme ayant obtenu le pointage final le plus élevé, pour un montant total de $309 995,89, toutes taxes applicables incluses.
Proposé par
I'll propose it, Dominic Zito.
et secondé.
I will second it all before.
Merci.
Item 6.6 is the fourth and last renewal option for our contract TP 2019-16 paving work. This contract was initially awarded on June 4th, 2019 to Aménagement de Souza, which is also called Company 4042077 Canada Inc., with 4 renewal options. It is proposed that this contract be renewed with Aménagement de Souza for a fourth and last renewal option covering the period of June 1st, 2023 to May 31st, 2024, for a total amount of $99,074.99, all applicable taxes included. This amount includes a revision of unit prices corresponding to the Consumer Price Index.
Proposed.
Je le propose, Karen Vitt.
And second.
I'll second that, Steve Bouchard.
Au point 6.7, il s'agit de la deuxième option de renouvellement pour le contrat TP 2021-31, travaux par gainage de branchement d'égouts. Ce contrat a initialement été octroyé à Service Infraspect le 7 juin 2021 avec 4 options de renouvellement. Il est proposé de reconduire ce contrat avec Service Infraspect Inc. pour une deuxième option de renouvellement couvrant la période du 1er juin 2023 au 31 mai 2024 pour un montant total de 110 475,07 $, toute taxe applicable incluse, montant qui inclut une révision des prix unitaires selon l'IPC.
Un proposeur
Je le propose, Nancy
et
Kogmesevis.
secondé par
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Item 6.8, it is proposed to authorize an additional expenditure of $123,683.47, including all applicable taxes, payable to Sogeco Inc. for additional work carried out under contract Génie 2021-400-2 restoration of the Maison Lantier.
By the way, the amount itself is substantial, but the provincial government gave us a grant of $250,000. That's administered through the agglomeration that we didn't receive yet, eh, John? Perfect. Okay, I need somebody to propose it.
I propose that, John Morrison.
And second,
I'll second it, Michelle.
thank you.
Au point 6.9, il est proposé d'autoriser une dépense additionnelle de 68 209,86 $, toute taxe applicable incluse, payable à Fort Action Inc. pour des travaux supplémentaires effectués dans le cadre du contrat Génie 2022-950, chemisage structural de conduite d'aqueduc, rue Lausanne, Argyle, du Ruisseau et Chemin Sainte-Marie.
Un proposeur
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
et secondé par
Je seconde, Dominic Zito.
Item 6.10, it is proposed to authorize an additional expenditure of $18,000, including all applicable taxes payable to Cargill Cell, Sécurité routière, une division de Cargill Limitée, for additional treated blue de-icing salt required during the winter season of 2022-2023.
the amount was $18,000.
$18,000.
That's proposed
I will propose that all before.
and second,
I'll second that, John Morrison.
thank you.
Au point 6.11, il est proposé de renouveler l'entente de service réciproque entre la ville de Kirkland et la ville de Beaconsfield relativement au programme culturel et récréatif offert par le service des loisirs et la bibliothèque de chacune des deux municipalités, qui entrera en vigueur avec les inscriptions au programme d'automne et prendra fin le 31 décembre 2026, et d'autoriser le maire ou le maire suppléant et la greffière à signer l'entente au nom de la ville de Kirkland.
Yeah, this is an agreement we've got with the city of Beaconsfield. And just to tell you, some of the bonus that we've got, first of all, and we've got a a period of inscription to our program. It's exclusive to both cities. We basically are able to use the Beaconsfield pool. We're able to have also share both the patinage libre in both arena if Kirkland residents wants to go to Beaconsfield and vice versa. Also, the seniors club, old seniors club, the members can go from one to the other. Also, you've got the privilege of having for all the program, the inscription, the registration, are at the same rate and also the same condition. And finally, we've got at the library, we can basically get a book from the Kirkland Library or a Beaconsfield Library. So it's really a nice arrangement that we've got. It's a verbal, not a verbal, but a written agreement that we've got, I believe 20 years at least, no, 10 years. So somebody to propose it,
I propose that, Karen Cliff.
and second,
I'll second it, Chairman, check.
thank you. Whatever.
6.12, it is proposed to authorize a renewal of, for the year 2023, of the intermunicipal agreement entered into with the City of Pointe Claire, allowing for Pointe Claire's Public Security Division to provide the town of Kirkland with call dispatch and other related services during the period of January 1st to December 31st, 2023, and to authorize for this purpose a total expenditure of $51,768.21, all applicable taxes included, payable to the City of Pointe Claire.
This is another intermunicipal agreement, and we've got this agreement for the last 10 years at least. So it helps us, and also it's a good service for our residents. Propose,
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
and second,
I'll second that, Nancy Krueger.
thank you.
Au point 6.13, il est proposé de mandater Maître Julius Gray du cabinet Gray Casgrain pour représenter la ville de Kirkland dans sa requête devant la Cour supérieure pour contester certaines dispositions de la loi 96 qui affectent les droits et obligations des municipalités bilingues. D'autoriser le maire ou le directeur général de la ville à signer la lettre d'intention avec la ville de Côte-Saint-Luc et le mandat avec le cabinet d'avocats Gray Casgrain afin de leur permettre de représenter la ville dans le cadre des procédures submentionnées et de s'engager à partager les frais et honoraires juridiques avec la ville de Côte-Saint-Luc et les autres co-demandeurs au prorata de la taille relative de sa population, de réserver comme chacune des municipalités co-demanderesses une dépense n'excédant pas $1 par résident de la ville de Kirkland pour toutes les dépenses nécessaires à cette fin pour couvrir la demande et les plaidoiries de ces procédures devant la Cour supérieure, de désigner la ville de Côte-Saint-Luc pour recevoir les paiements pour la firme Gray Casgrain pour tous les frais juridiques de toutes les municipalités impliquées dans cette action et que la ville de Kirkland se réserve le droit de se décider de la poursuite suivant un avis de 30 jours.
Just to give you an update, we've got 22 municipalities that are involved and bringing this case to the court with Julius Gray. And out of these 22 municipalities, 10 are from the Association of Superintendent Mayor, of which Kirkland is part of. So it's the first step to basically prevent the mayor to go on my knees every 4 years and request the privilege of having a bilingual municipality. And that's the sad part of it, but it's the right gesture that we're undertaking. So somebody to propose it, please.
I will propose it, Dominic Zito.
Thank you, Dominic. And second,
Was just seconded, John Morrison.
thank you.
Nous sommes maintenant au point 7, administration et finances. The first item is acting mayor, 7.1. It is proposed to appoint Councillor Luciano Pichakian as acting mayor for the months of June, July, and August 2023.
Propose,
I propose that, Gary Cliff.
And second?
I will second it, Paul Dufour.
Thank you.
Point 7.2, il est proposé d'approuver le plan d'action favorisant l'intégration des personnes handicapées 2023 et de transmettre une copie du plan d'action favorisant l'intégration des personnes handicapées à l'Office des personnes handicapées du Québec.
Perfect. This plan will be on our website, I believe, tomorrow.
At some point more.
At some point tomorrow that you can consult. You'll see that we're doing very well, especially for the accessibility to our chalet or our recreation center or the municipality in the library. And we're still going with certain other programs to make it easy for our handicapped residents or any resident of the West Island. So proposed by,
I'll propose that, Nancy Cook.
and second,
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
thank you.
At 7.3, the minutes will reflect that the financial report and the external auditor's report for the 2022 fiscal year have been tabled before this assembly.
And also, you'll have this report tomorrow afternoon, if I'm not mistaken, available for your review. So somebody to propose it?
It's a table.
Oh, it's a tabling, I'm sorry. Okay. But it's available tomorrow afternoon.
Au point 7.4, contribution financière additionnelle, il n'y en a aucune séance tenante. Ce qui nous amène au point 8, ressources humaines. First item is 8.1. It is proposed to confirm Mr. Kojo Mawuko Atoko to the position of Equipment and Material Distribution Agent within the Administrative Services Department of the Town of Kirkland, effective July 25th, 2022, in accordance with the collective agreement currently in effect for white-collar employees of the Town of Kirkland.
Propose,
I'll propose it, Dominic Zito.
and second by,
And I'll second that, Mike Brown.
thank you.
Au point 8.2, il est proposé de nommer, de confirmer M. Gabriel Weiss au poste permanent col bleu de préposé aux travaux de propriété et à l'entretien, sport et loisirs au sein du service des loisirs de la bibliothèque en date du 4 janvier 2023, conformément à la convention collective présentement en vigueur pour les employés col bleu de la ville de Kirkland.
Proposeur,
I'll propose that, Gary Cliff.
et secondé par,
Je le second, Nancy Cook.
8.3, it is proposed to appoint and confirm Mr. Eric Labia to the position of foreman building within the Public Works Department of the Town of Kirkland, effective April 9, 2023, the whole in accordance with the employment policy for management employees of the Town of Kirkland.
propose,
I propose that, John Morrison.
and second,
I'll second that, Paul Dufour.
Ce qui nous amène au point 9, comité consultatif d'urbanisme, le premier, 9.1. Il est proposé d'accorder en vertu du règlement 9063 intitulé Règlement relatif aux dérogations mineures de la ville de Kirkland, la dérogation mineure suivante au règlement de zonage numéro 9058 pour les lots 6, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 3, 6, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 4, 6, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 5 et 6, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 6 dans la zone 306M. Il s'agit de l'endroit où est situé Rosefellow, afin d'autoriser l'aménagement d'espaces de stationnement sur le lot 6, 255, 865 du cadastre du Québec, nonobstant l'article 7.2 du règlement de zonage 9058, qui exige que le stationnement soit situé sur le même terrain que celui sur lequel il est requis. Cette dérogation mineure est conditionnelle à l'obtention par le requérant d'une certitude réelle et perpétuelle l'autorisant à aménager et utiliser les 10 espaces de stationnement.
proposeur,
Je vais le proposer, Steve Bouchard.
et secondé par,
Je vais le seconder, Luciano Picciacchia.
merci.
Item 9.2, it is proposed to take note of the request for approval of the site planning and architectural integration program and accompanying documents for the expansion project on lot 2458149 in zone 101R at 75 Timberley Trail Street, and the extract of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on April 11, 2023, and to approve as submitted the site planning and architectural integration plans, listed in item 2.1.1 of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on April 11. Said plans being in conformity with bylaw SPAIP 2022-55 and having received a favorable recommendation from the PAC.
Proposed
I'll propose it to Chairman Chakyan.
and second.
I'll second that, Steve Bouchard.
Oui, on a un autre payant à 9.3. Il est proposé de prendre acte de la demande d'approbation des plans d'implantation et d'intégration architecturale et des documents d'accompagnement relativement au projet de rénovation et de modification sur les lots 2 460017 et 6436107 dans la zone 305M située au 18105 transcanadienne. Il s'agit du TAR gré et de l'extrait du procès-verbal du CCU du 11 avril 2023 et d'approuver tel quel les plans d'implantation et d'intégration architecturale énumérés au point 3.2.1 du procès-verbal de la réunion du CCU du 11 avril. Ces plans étant conformes au règlement PIA 2022-55 et ayant fait l'objet d'une recommandation favorable du CCU.
Un proposeur, s'il vous plaît.
Je vais le proposer, Steve Bouchard.
Et secondé par.
Je vais seconder le Chairman Chakyan.
9.4, it is proposed to take note of the request for approval of the site planning and architectural integration program and accompanying documents for the installation of a commercial terrace on lot 2646451 in zone 238C, located at 16979 Trans-Canada Highway. It's Chef Vaganessa. And the extract of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on April 11 to approve as submitted the site planning and architectural integration plans listed in item 3.3.1 of the minutes of the PAC meeting of April 11. These plans being in conformity with our bylaw SPAIP 2022-55 and having received a favorable recommendation from the PAC.
Somebody to propose?
I'll propose it to Chairman Chakyan.
And second.
I'll second that, Steve Bouchard.
9.5. Il est proposé de prendre acte de la demande d'approbation des plans d'implantation et de l'intégration architecturale et des documents d'accompagnement relativement à l'installation d'une terrasse commerciale sur le lot 5915748 dans la zone 214C située au 2945 boulevard Saint-Charles. Il s'agit du restaurant Toujours Mike's et de l'extrait du procès-verbal du CCU daté du 11 avril 2023 et d'approuver tel quel les plans d'implantation et d'intégration architecturale énumérés au point 3.4.1 du procès-verbal de la réunion du CCU du 11 avril. Ces plans étant conformes au règlement du PIA 2022-55 et ayant fait l'objet d'une recommandation favorable du CCU.
Un proposeur.
Je vais le proposer, Steve Bouchard.
Et secondé par.
Je vais seconder le Chairman Chakyan.
And the last one, 9.6. It is proposed to take note of the request for approval of the site planning and architectural integration program and accompanying documents for the expansion project on lot 2458878 in zone 106R at 49 Monsadel Street and the extract of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on April 18, 2023. And to disapprove the site planning and architectural integration plans listed in item 3.1.1 of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on April 18. Said plans not being in conformity with bylaw SPAIP 2022-55 and having received a unfavorable recommendation from the PAC for the reasons stated in the minutes of April 18, 2023.
Propose.
I'll propose it to Chairman Chakyan.
And second.
I'll second that, Steve Bouchard.
Il n'y a aucune affaire touchant les points 10 et 11 qui est traitée séance à la présente séance. Ce qui nous amène aux affaires d'agglomération and the mayor's report on decisions taken by the Montreal Urban Agglomeration Council at a regular sitting held on April 20th.
First of all, at the meeting of Thursday, April the 20th, I had John Morrison, Councillor John Morrison, replacing me. If you want to say a few words, John?
Yes, well, all documents were approved, therefore no necessary action was taken.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay.
Il n'y a aucune affaire qui touche le point 13 qui est traité à la présente séance. Au point 14, résolution d'appui, the item 14.1, it is proposed to declare June 1st to 7, 2023, the Quebec Week of Persons with Disabilities, and to promote this special week by inviting the citizens of Kirkland to show openness and respect in order to reduce barriers that people with disabilities and their families may encounter.
Propose,
I propose that, John Morrison.
and second?
I'll second that, Nancy Cookinis.
Thank you.
Au point 15, le conseil municipal prend acte du dépôt de la correspondance du mois d'avril 2023 par la greffière. There is no new business table at the sitting, ce qui nous amène à la période de questions du public qui est maintenant ouverte. Tout membre du public qui désire s'adresser au conseil municipal est prié de faire la file derrière le micro et de respecter la distanciation physique. Lorsque le droit de parole vous est accordé, veuillez ne pas toucher le micro, énoncer vos noms et adresses et formuler votre question de manière claire et concise en vous adressant au maire dans un langage respectueux. Chaque intervention est limitée à 2 questions. Il vous sera possible de poser des questions supplémentaires lorsque tous les membres du public qui désirent s'adresser au conseil municipal auront eu l'occasion de le faire. Public question period is now open. Members of the audience who wish to address the municipal council are requested to line up behind a microphone and to respect physical distancing. When given the floor, please refrain from touching the microphone, state your name and address, and direct your question to the mayor in a clear and concise manner using respectful language. Each intervention is limited to 2 questions. You will be able to ask additional questions once all members of the audience who wish to address the council has had a chance to do so.
Good evening, Lorraine of the Shovel 98 Memorial Hill. Everybody's aware of what happened with the ice storm, version 2.0. Walking around, I couldn't help but notice that there were places, especially in the older sections of Kirkland, where people were using fireplaces, burning wood, and I had forgotten how awful the smell of wood is. And after noticing a couple more, following days, I started to pay more attention, and I couldn't help but notice that so many owners had stacked and piled up a lot of wood the size of the logs, presumably to fit into the wood burning stoves or the fireplaces. I can just imagine how much more wood will be burned in the upcoming winter months. So my question to you and council is, are you aware of the situation, and could you encourage people that stacked up all this wood to maybe think of the environment or encourage them somehow? Just take notice and see what the wisdom of council can come up with.
Yeah, it was mentioned, it's an emergency. And in this case, I would encourage our residents to use their fireplace. It's an emergency. No electricity, you're freezing in your house.
I'm not talking about during the emergency. I'm talking about now that they have stacked a lot of the firewood, so.
But now it's pretty decent outside. I'm pretty sure they won't be using your wood. I know some did accumulate some wood, but we basically picked up most of the woods and the brush. And the wood, I mean the logs and the brush. But,
We have a fireplace bylaw in place.
yeah, we've got that fireplace bylaw in place.
But I'd like council to do something along the lines of trying to encourage these people who maybe without thinking or in their naivety stacked up all of these
Yeah, but
logs to
Yeah,
use in the future, so
They-
maybe could
they did
encourage
stack
them
up.
to.
I don't have a bylaw against people stacking up on an emergency where they've got more logs in there. I don't have bylaws on that.
You mean the site of it? I'm
No.
just trying to understand the question.
He doesn't want people to burn those
I
logs.
did see it, maybe, but you can only see from the road, you can't see behind the fence. So I'm talking about only the ones that I saw from the road.
Yeah.
So, can't, I don't know, come up with something to try
No,
to
there's
discourage
nothing
them from not burning all the wood?
Not burning of the wood, but basically, we've got a bylaw that, first of all, the existing fireplaces that are there, they have an acquired right. Every year, we got a campaign telling them basically to try to reduce the imprint or the smoke that it's creating. And all future construction, we don't allow wood burning fireplace. There'll be probably propane fireplace, and if somebody had a propane fireplace during this emergency, it would have helped also. So the conversions are there. But for the moment, I don't have specific bylaw. Luke, you want to add something?
There's also a bylaw, we limit the number of hours that you can be burning wood.
Yeah, also, good point.
Going forward, there'll be a reduced amount of,
absolutely.
burning that you're allowed.
You gotta turn on your microphone.
There's also a provision in the bylaw that limits the number of hours, consecutive hours that you're allowed to burn wood. So there's already something built into the same bylaw that Michelle was referring to that doesn't just encourage people, but is actually part of our bylaw already.
Yes.
I'm aware of all of that. I was thinking, just on top of my head, can't you go to house number 95 Kirkland Boulevard and say, listen, we noticed that you have a lot of it stacked. Can't you educate them to the wisdom of
Yeah,
not
we
using that?
do our best to educate them.
Well, that's what
We know.
I'm looking for. That's what I
Yeah, and
want
true,
to hear.
But Marino, we don't know what the next emergency is, so what are we supposed to do? Wait, don't have any wood, wait for the emergency to come, and then run around? I was here in this building downstairs during the outage when 3 different people came in asking if the city had any wood to supply.
Remember
What do you do? We tell people, get rid of your wood, don't burn it, and when the emergency
I didn't
comes,
say
we'll
we
worry
put
about
it
it.
like that. I'd like to encourage
But
them.
the bylaw already encourages people not to burn the wood.
And there is a
So it
transition, there is a
answers your question, Marina.
Okay, that's my
Remember-
question. Since there's,
But remember the last ice storm that we had? We had woods,
1998.
we had woods that was donated by Shawinigan, Chicoutimi. We had our public works full of wood. We needed it, but it was an emergency.
And there's a slow
who knows when the
transition.
next one is gonna be? Maybe
don't know.
another, maybe 10 years, maybe,
We don't.
you know? Anyway,
Okay,
I
guys.
just thought I would bring to your attention, see if you could, in your wisdom, come
Yeah,
up
the
with
bylaw
a
is
way
here.
of encouraging them not to burn. all
Yeah,
that
but the
stuff.
bylaw is there.
That's all my thing.
Okay.
5.4. I'm not quite sure what you mean by it, and the
We
word
explain-
expropriation of the rent. Could you elaborate on that, please?
I believe you asked the same question the last time, and I'll just try to resume it. It's in this resolution, 5.4. It's to include, I made myself a little notes. Okay, to include what was taken from them, from the rent during the expropriation. Okay, it's to give them the possibility of parking cars there, you remember? And so that they're not penalized when it comes to the actual number of the office space, but also the parking space. So we're basically giving them the permission to do it.
So is that the same resolution as our last council
It's-
meeting?
David Motion, when you ask the question, David Motion, now we're passing it officially.
Also not this is for passing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
It's clear, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Gail Berry. I live at 33 Harold in Kirkland.
33 Island?
33.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
And I'm here with a group from Kirkland Ladies Softball.
Okay.
And we just had a question to possibly consider a porta potty or some type of facility for Ecclestone. I've been playing in the league for 30 years and it's quite far, the chalet. It takes about 6 minutes to get there during a game. And a lot of times it's closed or so, you know, we're 83 women and it's quite tough to sometimes between the innings or whatever to try to get to the bathroom. We were just wondering if you could consider a porta potty or one on the wheels, like the cubicle on the wheels or something that could be removed at the end of the season.
Funny fact, we had one of your members, Nancy, that briefed us beforehand, and we'll put it on the agenda of our next meeting so we can have a true discussion on it to see if we can do it. When is your season start?
It starts like May 15th.
Okay, May 15th. Well, listen, at least it will be on the agenda of our next meeting. So we'll be discussing, reviewing it.
Super, that's all I wanted to ask.
Okay,
If you
perfect.
consider.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Diane Peterson. I live at 45 Elegant. How are you? I'm also the president of the Kirkland Artists Association. And last year I went to a meeting concerning the cultural community in Kirkland.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything happening with that concerning the cultural. I know you had budgets for it, but nothing, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, it's being put together. Where are we, the cultural policy?
I would suggest Diane calls Mike Lane
Okay,
and he'll clarify what we're doing.
okay. Mike could probably brief you on where we are in the exact putting in place of the, don't worry, the work that you did, that some of our counselors did at those briefing or ideas searching were put together and there's a plan coming. So ask Mike, he'll tell you when the plan will come out, that you'll be able to consult yourself.
Okay. Just to let you know, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary.
40th?
Yes, at the end of May. And I did ask for funds to help us out with that, and I was denied. So I don't understand why denied
When did you submit that, Diane?
in December of 2022.
Honestly, I'm not aware.
Okay.
So, have you sent an email or what?
I sent an email to Nicole, because she's the one that's in charge of cultural.
Yeah, but you did copy Joe or at least Payette or myself?
No, I did send a copy to Nancy, so I don't know if it might.
Could you send us again to all the council if you can, a
Okay.
copy?
Because I was asked to send it to Nicole and she was gonna discuss it with you guys.
I didn't see nothing, honestly. Joe, you know where?
I don't recall seeing it, but I also don't, I'm not gonna sit here tonight saying Nicole did not forward it.
No.
So I just want to be careful how we say this.
Yeah,
What I suggest is you resubmit something
it's
to
best
us,
thing to do.
and I'll bring it.
Because it's not my first time. I've submitted it, I always do it in December because you need time to
It's
discuss.
probably too early.
Yeah, well, it's for the budget in 2023, so I understand that.
Okay.
So I just ask that you resubmit, please.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Diane. Next,
Rachel.
Rachel, yeah, beautiful name.
Rachel Dell.
And your address, Rachel?
113.
No, come closer to the microphone, probably.
103 Bern, Rue de Berne.
Okay.
So, my first question. So, you know, in Shediac, the Harris Park, where the splash park is?
Yeah,
Last year, we were there with my kids, and there was a baseball game going in the baseball field. And there was a couple balls that flew right into the modules for the kids. Like from is the park for 7 to 10 years old, maybe?
you're talking about Oliver.
No,
Harris Park, on front of Harris.
Sorry.
Little League Park.
Okay, Paris, or the little
So,
one.
yeah, I was always wondering, if it's, because it was dangerous. Like, at least 5 balls from probably 1 or 2 kids playing, they were playing a game with parents and everything,
Yeah,
and balls are flying into,
In the
where the
splash
wood
park.
chips is,
okay.
okay, really far.
Because that little park is used for really the younger kids.
Right, and there was
probably a day where there were older kids there.
That could
No,
be. No.
well, I don't know, but
It's
it's possible to, I had told them, how old are these kids?
Yeah.
They looked older, 12, 13 maybe? And,
12, 13.
there's no protection
Okay,
for kids that play, babies. There were babies, it was a beautiful night.
good
So
point.
it was very dangerous, I found.
Okay.
Baseballs, hard.
Yeah.
So after seeing that, I was like, it's on my mind a lot. So here, for the Kirkland potty, porta potty. Sorry, very going on that.
So you took the opportunity of asking.
Yeah, maybe ask the how old are the kids? They're not supposed to be more than 10, because I know from 10 to 12 years old, there's a big difference in
Oh,
power.
then it was 13.
I have 3 boys, so I know that.
Now, this is, what we'll do, it's the first time I hear about it, and probably Councilor Domingo also. We'll investigate, we'll ask the league, the level of players, the age that are playing there. And Joe, our Director General, will have a look at it for sure.
Was it an organized game?
Yeah, and I
So
told the
two
parents,
teams?
maybe ask the kids that are very strong to not hit and give them a home run or whatever, because it was so dangerous. They're like, hey, they're just kids. They were screaming at me, and I was I felt very, it was scary for me being in a
Yeah.
park.
Can I ask a question? Was this a one-time incident or
I
was
was
it?
in the park that one time, yeah.
Because it's the first
It
time.
happens often.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So we'll have to look at it. Okay,
yeah.
Thank
And so
you.
maybe a little fencing, I don't know, a net, but,
okay.
But if it happens again before something.
who do I call if it happens
Okay,
and
well,
there's a
you
game?
can call me or you can call Joe or.
Yeah, Jordan, but.
Okay, I'll get a phone number.
But, yeah, call me, I'll give you my card with my cell number
Actually,
on
if you
it.
don't mind, Dominic, it's because Rachel's my new coach.
Just tell her
I meant
Actually-
I could forward your information over.
Yeah, and I have another question about the.
Yeah, go ahead.
The recreational, between
And
Beaconsfield.
just a moment.
Between Beaconsfield and Kirkland.
Yeah.
Is the pool included into the same, we can go to and register as Kirkland residents for the pool, for the kids?
Yeah, great. 6
You did, eh? As of when?
But we should have our own.
We should.
That's another subject.
As of when?
It's been in place for 10 years.
It's been in place for 10 years.
Okay, so, but I go there and they're saying I'm not allowed because, well, I'm a Kirkland, but I have to pay extra. That's not right?
Except no.
Okay.
Yes, there is
For
special.
the pool, for what we're talking, for the
Yeah.
pool, just a moment.
Yeah.
For the pool, it's for the free swimming.
Okay,
seniors.
no lessons, I'm not allowed.
No,
lessons.
for the rec
I need
program,
lessons.
no, it's different.
I
For
need
senior, it's for the free swimming.
Yeah.
And they give priority to Beaconsfield
Right.
residents first, and then whatever's left,
It's
times, they'll give to others, but it's not ideal.
No, it's not. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome. Next,
Hi, I'm Luisa Di Grazia. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I live at 46 Delina, and I back onto the servitude. in, off of, I guess, the hydro servitude.
Yep.
And I want to just start by saying thank you for the dog park. I really appreciate all the work. My dog drags me there every day. Not to socialize, but just to see people. So I want to say thank you for the dog park. It's the first time I come to a council meeting, so I want to say thank you for putting the money into that. And because I walk the servitude, I've noticed that there's still a lot of broken branches and not on the path.
Yeah.
Now, is that the city of Kirkland or is that Hydro-Quebec that needs to do
No,
that?
that will be our job
Yeah.
to do.
Okay. Because it's quite, some of the branches, are still hanging, and they could still be dangerous. So I guess,
Well, yeah, and Joe?
Our priority's been to clean up the mess in front of people's properties.
okay, so you're doing that.
Parks are
first.
next, so parks are gonna be open in a few days. And then after that, we'll get to the hydro servitude.
Okay. I was just curious, like I said, because I live off the servitude and every day I walk it and it's still important because quite a few people still walk their dogs on the servitude with a leash, of course.
Okay, we'll
So-
definitely get cleaned up.
Okay, thank you, that's it.
Okay, next.
Good evening. My name is Alana Lewis. I live at 43 Shediac Highway. We have a very big speeding problem, which has been brought to Mr. Zito before. Mr. Gibson, we've also spoken about it as well. There has been sensors put on our street during construction. Sensors were also put in on the side of the 40 sign that's in the middle of our street. Shediac is a crescent. It is connected to Harris Park. We feel as residents of that street that, yes, it's our neighbors that speed, but it doesn't give it an excuse for them to speed. I have 3 children. They play in the street. I grew up on that street. I played in that street growing up. And we feel that there needs to be something done more than these signs, more than the sensors to test.
Something like
We've
that.
been asking for speed bumps. We've been denied. It's going to take one child to get hit.
Yeah. Any comments, Paul, on Shediac?
If I recall, Dominic, correct me if I'm wrong, we did studies in 21.
You did study.
You don't understand?
Yes, you did do studies.
Put on the mic, there's a mic.
Yeah, several studies were done, and they apparently do not meet the standards of the traffic committee. As she explained, and I explained to this council, you cannot put sensors on a path, on the street, and next to them put these big buoys which will slow down the traffic going over those sensors. Because then the sensors are not reading reality.
There was
If I'm
movies,
not
there was
mistaken,
no parking signs that were
Just
put.
reply to that, please. I recall, I think we did 3 traffic studies because it was a problem with construction on the street.
Yep.
One time,
Yeah.
there was a problem with beside it was put in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And then I think we did a 3rd time.
So all 3 times, sir, there was obstructions. The
Yeah.
first time was
Well, I don't know
construction.
the 3rd time if there was.
The second time there was, there's the 40 sign right in the middle of where they were. And the 3rd time, there was no parking signs that were right next to it on both sides of the street, narrowing it already.
There was a slow down sign in the middle.
Yes, that's the
The
40
two
sign.
sensors, and next to the 2 sensors, between the sensor and the curb, there were sandwich
Okay,
signs.
that's the procedure, but you're saying it's local speeding,
It's
so.
local speeding. We have tried
So local
speaking to
is-
our neighbors.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they do not listen.
But do you know who? Because I'll just relate 2 facts that happened in Tivoli a couple of years back, where we were able to identify the person that was speeding. So we did speak to SPV 1, our police station that we're very close to, and they sent an officer, and they advised the young kid that was speeding, he never speed again in his life. If you can identify these people that are basically putting our kids in danger,
There's more than just a neighbor, because one of the studies showed that in one direction, there was excessive speeding. Okay? I believe it was going west, there was over the 30% barrier. What happens is a lot of people come up, burn, and think that Shediac is a shortcut,
Yeah.
end up in the circle and get frustrated and flash down. 1. 2, there's all the delivery trucks.
Yes.
UPS, Pure they speed down that street.
It just, there needs to be something done.
What was the last study, 2021?
When there was 3 done, 2021.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but those are a bunch of
Okay.
nonsense stuff.
If I may interject.
Yeah.
We can debate whether there's validity to the studies or not, Alana, and I don't want to go down that road. What I'd like to do is pull out what information was provided, what was collected, and I'll be glad to sit down with you. So,
Our speed limit used to be 30 on Shediac.
Was that so?
It used to be a 30 zone on Shediac. We have a park.
30, no.
It wasn't, growing up, it was a 30. I can.
You mean where the park was? And that-
No, the entire street was a 30.
At what point?
My other, just with this is, we have a park. So I don't understand why it shouldn't be a 30 zone. It's like a school zone. There's people that are constantly walking down our street on their bikes to get to the park.
Mhm.
There's a park in Mr. DeForest's section, on Topaz, I believe it is, that is a small, tiny little park, and it has a speed bump and a stop sign right in front.
You're talking about St. Tropez,
No.
It's St. Topaz, sorry.
Okay, then listen, we'll gather the information and we'll come back.
Please, because the last thing I want is one of my children to
No,
get
we're
hit by
not, us too.
And just to jump on with the Harris Park baseball field, one of my neighbors here, she is 23 and plays softball, and her team practices last year were at Harris Park. So it's not just done for up to 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah, we'll find
It's
it.
supposed to be, but it's not. So these leagues need to be informed.
Okay.
Well, what I wanted to say before, and I didn't finish, to Rachel, was that if you do see any situations there, and you can't reach me, or Joe, or the mayor, call public security right away. Joe will advise public security now as to the ages that are allowed there.
We'll find out, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, next.
Well, Cops 168 Niagara. I'd like to address the board of yours on Highway 40 between St. Charles and the Rim, the new station.
Okay.
Okay? There's no lights whatsoever, even coming east or west on all that section. Can the city of Kirtland do something about advising whoever is in
Bob, heading westbound Ramos currently working on the relocation of the lights, and that's why the lights are out.
but they shouldn't be out like at night.
Well, the reason why they're up, Bob, is they're relocating the location of the lights. So they have to move all the cement bases, they have to dig out the holes.
They're all the poles are all wooden poles at the present time.
On the highway?
On the highway, yeah.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the highway, you're talking about
I'm
the
talking
service road.
about the highway.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I can ask the MTQ to do something with the highway, we don't control the highway. What we control
This
the
is
service.
what I'm asking.
Okay,
There's
sorry,
no
I
lights.
misunderstood.
I want to see if Kirtland could do anything about that. It's a section between, you must have, everybody must have.
I'm on about, that was when, if you recall, about 6 months ago, they shut the highway down because it was a truck that actually had taken down a wire. And that's what that, so I'll inform the MTQ as far as the request getting the lights on, when they're gonna get them back on.
Because even if, when you want to take the service road to go back to my house and all that on St. Marie and all that, all the lights all around that area is completely out at night, you know? I'm just wondering if the city could inform.
Joe will basically contact Transport Canada. Transport. We study transport.
You think there's going to be something done about it, or just?
Bob, I don't control Minister Transport.
No, I
will advise them that the lights are.
They're very, very slow.
But you're asking me whether something's gonna be done, I can advise them? I can't tell you that something's gonna be done immediately. I'm just gonna let you know that.
It's not very comfortable when you're driving, you know.
I understand.
I'll give you another example, Bob. There was graffiti under 2 of our overpass at one point. If I would have asked, and that was last year, if I would have asked the Ministère des Transports, forget it, we had to do it ourselves. So,
Oh,
when
I know
football's
what
light, we cannot control it.
I hope there's no graffiti on the rim, I hope.
Wait,
Wait, we'll see.
May I ask why that our traffic personnel don't report these things?
No, but we're aware.
No, I mean, on the 40, I mean.
We're aware.
No, I'm not talking about graffiti now. I'm talking about.
No, the lights, we're.
Bob, it's a road I do regularly. I'm well aware that the lights are out.
Me too.
On the highway.
And why?
Okay.
Yes,
And my
I have the three
Well,
speed studies here, Bob.
Just a moment.
Just a correction, we're talking about the speed study done in 2021.
Yeah.
On Shediac, there was 3 studies done. There was not one of the studies that showed 30% or more of traffic speed on the street.
Okay.
We see the direction.
Okay, it's a
we
clarification.
saw it with Joe even said, Paul.
What was
I don't know what studies I saw.
Wow.
Okay.
So if you want to get into a debate, we'll get into a debate.
Leave it on.
No, well, you want
Next
to
question.
let's get into the debate.
Okay, next question. Okay,
What a joker, eh?
okay, go ahead.
Paul Sinez, 15 Boulevard Kirkland.
Hi, Paul.
Good evening. I rise this evening to give my thanks to the town of Kirkland on behalf of the residents of Summerhill Park Condominium, the board of directors, and the management company for the wonderful job that you did in helping us relieve our property of all of those fallen branches on the April 5th illness.
Thank you very
So
much,
this
Paul.
evening, I want to just, on behalf of the Summerhill Board of Directors, the co-owners at Summerhill Park Condominiums, to thank the council, and please, Joe, on our behalf, extend thanks to Public Works and all those that were responsible for going above and beyond the call of duty and helping, in this case, 200-something citizens that live up in the Summerhill Park to help us alleviate, remove all of those branches. You guys saved us a pretty penny, and I want to just take the opportunity to thank you for that initiative.
Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ivo Sparapani at 72 Park Bridge in Kirkland.
Okay.
And I'm here to talk about a couple of red and white cones.
Cones?
Yes.
Okay.
A picture, if I may show you a picture, will tell you 1,000 words.
No, but not for now. Just, we'll see if we need it afterwards. And there's cone on Park Ridge?
On Park Ridge, yes. And
the cones are there, one or?
Over a couple of manholes.
Okay.
They're on beside my driveway.
Okay.
And I was here last year, not to mention about this, but something else. And I didn't bother mentioning it because I thought that the city was going to do something about it. But they've been there for almost 2 years now. It's not, and it's not a very nice site.
Okay, just a moment, Joe. Bring the papers in, please. And it's been there for 2 years.
Sorry?
2 years.
Just about. I did the same picture to the ladies in the office on the municipal garage.
Okay.
And they've got it on their computer. I went back there different times. I don't know if whether once. I don't know.
Is it possible?
Here, is it okay there?
I'm just taking a picture.
You sent it?
Sure.
Okay, here.
Almost 2 years that I could remember. Yeah. So now I'm just wondering if Well, there's two manholes there.
Okay.
But my question is, can
Okay.
I put it back, the grass like it was? I've been there almost 40 years. I mean, they did that in 21. That was the first time they did it since 84. I've been there since.
Are the manholes hydro related or city related?
I'm sorry?
The manholes, are they hydro related?
No.
No, they're city.
No, they're city.
So,
Can I get a phone number where I can reach you?
Sure, it's 514-697-1148.
Thank you.
we'll find out
That's
exactly.
all I wanted to ask, maybe if I could cover it up with the grass like it was, I mean,
Let me find out what's going on.
Joe will find out, and he'll tell you exactly what was
okay,
happening.
and I have, did you want
I know
me to
you-
send you
I have
that?
your phone number, I'll call you.
And we got a picture.
Would you mind just putting your last name? Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
I'm sorry?
I just wanted your last name, because
Yeah.
I didn't catch it.
Sparapani, S-P-A-R-A-P-A-N-I.
Okay, thank you. That was the only question?
That was the only question, yes.
We'll find
All he
out.
wants is an answer now.
Well,
So they were there all winter? Those cones?
last 2 winters, yeah.
All winter?
For 2 years.
Okay, we'll find out. Okay,
I
Joe,
think it's since fall 21 that they've been there.
Just let me find out what's going on and I'll get back to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
okay, next question, anybody else? Oh,
Sorry, my second question.
yeah,
I'd like to talk about the rates again. We didn't have a good year and we're spending a lot of money. I realize that a lot of cities, a lot of rates, R-I-N-K-S, okay? I'm talking about artificial rates again. When is the subject going to come up?
I am.
Bob, whether, you know that rates are weather dependent?
Yes, yes.
So because it was a bad year this year, council is definitely having discussions on what we do in the future, but no decision has been made. I think the administration has been given a mandate to look at things. Yep.
Other cities are coming along quite well with artificial rates and all that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bob, again, my answer is the same. So I've been asked by council to look into it because of the terrible season we had. If we go back 2 years, we had an amazing season. We had a foot thick of ice, right? So
Let's face it, Joe, for many years now, you might have one good year out of 5.
I don't question what you're saying, Bob. I'm just saying that I've been given a mandate to look at things and we will look at it. And we will bring it forward to council. But it's not going to be a debate or discussion that we're going to have here today as to.
No, it's okay. No, I'm just
So
bringing.
all I'm saying is, I appreciate your comments. I've been asked to look into it. We're doing our analysis, we're presenting to council, and they'll make a decision on what's next. So that's the best I can do.
Yeah, no, I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah, but I'm giving you an answer where I'm at today, and that's the best I can do tonight.
We're looking.
Okay?
Okay?
Thank you.
Second, I got. Hey, we did go back a long way. That's not very good.
Okay, next question? No? Okay. Okay, thank you for all coming. Just our next public meeting will be held on Monday, June the 5th at 8 p.m. Prochaine Assemblée publique, lundi 5 juin à 20h. Donc, I need somebody to close the meeting. Proposed by?
I'll propose that all before.
And second?
I'll second it, Don.
Thank you.